Hello and welcome to Open, the show opening the Bronx and the rest of the world to you. I'm Kyrie Moody, filling in for Darren Jaime, and today we'll update you on what's happening in and around our borough and New York City. Coming up, community leaders keep confronting the ongoing opioid epidemic through prevention, outreach, and harm reduction efforts. We'll hear from experts working on the front lines to address rising overdose rates and expand access to care in one of the city's hardest hit communities. Then, we turn our attention to foster care and the challenges young people face within the system. We'll hear from someone who experienced foster care firsthand and now helps mentor and support youth navigating it today. Next, we take a closer look at how creative arts are being used as a tool for healing and re-entry for justice-impacted New Yorkers. We'll see how art is helping people reclaim their stories after incarceration, homelessness, and other life challenges. Lastly, we mark Juneteenth with a celebration of music, history, and cultural legacy. We'll take you inside a powerful choral performance that honors tradition, resilience, and the ongoing pursuit of freedom. So stay tuned. All of this is much more is headed your way because we're now officially open. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Kyrie Moody, and you are now watching Open, a program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to you. You can stay connected to us on all social media platforms at Bronxnet TV. Some things have been going on throughout this past week. We'll take you through it with some Bronx updates. The Bronx Night Market has become one of the borough's most vibrant community events, bringing together food, culture, and local resources since 2017. This year, it returns with another strong showcase of what the Bronx has to offer. Our reporter, Nova Bonjamonti, has the story.
The Bronx Night Market has been taking place since 2017, and the annual event invites locals to explore delicious foods and helpful resources.
Events like this are so important, especially in the Bronx, because they uplift voices and they look out for the smaller organizations just like ourselves. We are a nonprofit organization, but just every organization here that are looking to represent their community, represent Black, Latino, any type of culture, they're here to represent, especially important here in the Bronx that sometimes gets overlooked.
This is our third or fourth Bronx Market, and we love it. We love the crowd, we love the enthusiasm. We like the people, so we're good. So come on down and get some sweets. It is important because it expands us, our palettes, our people. We get exposed to everybody. And we have people we're originally from Queens, but we have people that come up from here because they know we're here on the concourse. So we love it.
This is showing love to the community, you know, having a lot of vendors out over here, having some artwork happening, having a place where you could do health screening and all that other stuff, you know? There's a community coming together.
Event goers explored the plethora of vendor options ranging from clothing to drinks.
You get to, I guess, meet new people, meet new businesses, and who knows, maybe you would like to go and work for them and, you know, delicious food. I see a lot of delicious food.
I think events like this are so important to the community because they allow us to come together, they allow us to see some of our neighbors, they allow us to experience different things that we might not normally experience.
I love the event because it helps us grow and stuff, and sometimes we have a busy day and we want to spend quality time together.
The Bronx Night Market invites neighbors to explore everything that the borough has to offer. Reporting for Bronxnet, I'm Nova.
Thank you, Nova. In other news, the 38th Annual Bronx Individual and Family Support Conference brought together advocates, families, and leaders to discuss how to better support the disabled community and push for a more equitable path forward. Our reporter, Shatrice McQueen, has the story.
This year's 38th Annual Bronx Individual and Family Support Conference continued their mission of furthering positive change for the Bronx's community of disabled people. Each year, this event invites leaders, the self-advocates, family members, and supporters to hold presentations and discussions on finding an equitable path forward.
It is so important to have it, and I want to say particularly in the Bronx, because we are an underserved area when it comes to serving people with disabilities.
Government officials are also invited to listen and to speak, giving a direct line to those with the power to create the lasting impact needed. This event covered multiple areas of advocacy and centered voices of people who have experienced the challenges that come with unmet needs.
This type of event brings together all the programs and then also highlights where there are concerns and where there are needs.
Early intervention, a program for infants and toddlers with disabilities, allows them to undergo physical, occupational, and speech therapy. This is just one of the programs that lack the funding to reach further across the community. President of the Self-Advocacy Association of New York State, Daniel Lanzetta, received therapy under early intervention.
It teaches you how to communicate with the world around you. It teaches you the basics of what it is to be a part of your community, and you carry it with you in what you do every day.
We matter. Our voices matter. It's time for you to stop cutting us and actually invest in our community.
Advocate, author, and Miss Wheelchair America 2026, Latavia Sturdivant, addressed the prevalent issue of underfunding medical equipment, which has made an impact on her life.
I was born with cerebral palsy, spastic quadriplegia, so I ambulate by wheelchair my entire life. And if I don't have my wheelchair, I can't go be a licensed speech language pathologist, adjunct professor at Lehman College. I can't host my podcast. I can't do anything with my life. This is literally my legs.
Many in this community have been impacted by changes in Medicaid funding these past few years. It was important for this year's gathering to address those changes and advocate for better legislation on inclusivity.
There are contractions in the funding for Medicaid, and so we are losing out on supporting staff adequately to serve the population, and so there's less funding available for that now.
Christopher Grief, attending as a New York City Transit Riders Council representative and self-advocate, is an example of how speaking up makes a difference.
As I went to Albany, not just twice, last time they called my name, and they look at the transportation budget, they said Christopher Grief, and you hear someone going, I said, I'm going to cause grief now to every elected official, and I did. There's so much things in the MT world now that it was 7 years ago. Moving forward is the key.
The conference also served as a networking event and allowed for dozens of agencies to set up tables in various rooms to speak with attendees.
People with disabilities are people just like us. They're part of our family. They're part of our relatives, our cousins, our sisters, our brothers, our aunts. They are part of the community, and it's important to really speak up for them and their needs because they just make us better people.
In Van Ness, I'm Shatrice McQueen with Bronxnet.
Thank you, Shatrice. That's all for the Bronx updates. We have to take a quick break, but we'll have more open when we return.
We're gonna start the show right now. This is my favorite part. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, this is Angel, and I am one of the instructors for the in-studio production. Here at Bronxnet, we offer classes that can help you elevate, expand, and start your television career. All you have to do is sign up at bronxnet.org/education. For the past 7 years, I have been in various productions, spanning from talk shows, independent films, news reports, art displays, teachings, musical performances, and many more. Ain't that right, Angel? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Angel. There are a lot of creative individuals that we're just waiting to sign up for the class. And if I may, can I also express Thank you, Angel. That's all the time we have left. Visit bronxnet.org/education and become a producer by taking the course. The class I offer is also in English, en español y también bilingüe. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.
Welcome back. In New York City, a life is lost to overdose approximately every 4 hours, with the Bronx being one of the hardest hit boroughs. In response, community organizations and health providers have come together through the Bronx Opioid Collective Impact Project, a collaborative initiative focused on reducing overdose deaths, expanding access to services, and improving community safety through a harm reduction approach. Joining us to discuss the work being done are Arianne Saxton, Senior Project Manager with the Bronx Opioid Collective, and Melissa Nieves, Director of Outreach and Integration at La Casa de Salud. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, and Arianne, as part of the leadership of the collective, how do you turn collaboration between 20+ organizations into a unified strategy?
I would say that the organizations that I work with are brilliant minds, and oftentimes it just requires me listening to what they want, whether it's listening to organizational leaders, listening to the boots on the ground, and listening to clients and hearing what their needs are, assessing that, and seeing what I can build out. So it's amazing work, and unifying that strategy together is just an effort of listening and being active.
And just to give us a little bit more information about the Bronx Opioid Collective, what is that?
I can take this one. So the Bronx Opioid Collective started in 2017 to address the overdose deaths that were happening in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. It started through President of Acacia Network, our President of Acacia Network, Raul Rusi, and in collaboration with the council member, Rafael Salamanca.
Nice.
They saw that there was an extreme need in the community. Again, the Bronx is heavy hit with overdose deaths, so there was a big need in the community, and they got together. They formed the Bronx Opioid Collective, and when it comprised of about, I want to say, 6 to 9 organizations, and now we're at 20+ organizations. Wow. So we've been, again, 2017, we're 8 years now in just doing this work and working and collaborating together to address.
Wow. And speaking of numbers, the collective have achieved major impact numbers, like 700,000 plus harm reduction supplies distributed and 1,000 plus referrals to services. What do these numbers represent in real human time?
I think it represents decreasing stigma and saving lives, and informing individuals and community members about the resources that are available not only to them but to their family. Whether it's drug checking machines that are located throughout the Bronx, whether it is informing them about Narcan and providing them with the training, or giving them wound care kits and training them on how to deal with their wounds or deal with family members' wounds, and really seeing how the strategic collaboration and partnerships we can build out can support community members, whether it's food, etc. Mm-hmm. So it's really about the unified effort that we create.
Wow. And Melissa, what does outreach look like on a typical day here in the Bronx?
In reality, there is no typical day, right? Mm-hmm. Every day kind of looks really different. But what we try to do is really assess where the highest needs are in the Bronx and target those areas first. Outreach, again, is really about building a rapport with community members as well individuals who we're servicing. So a typical day is never a typical day in the Bronx. It can look very different, and it's not like a one-size-fits-all for everyone. Every approach is different for every person that we engage.
Wow. And how does community education play a role in preventing overdoses before they happen?
Community education is vital. Whether it is training your family on how to use Narcan, educating individuals, decreasing the amount of stigma that individuals have. This is a systemic issue. Bronx has been hit with heroin, opioids since the 70s. So this is a systemic problem, and making sure that people are educated on how to have compassion for individuals that are oftentimes their family members and oftentimes their friends, and individuals making sure that they know that there are some resources available to them. Whether they come to our tables during outreach, there's something that they can get from us.
Wow. And can you share how peer outreach workers help bridge the gap between community members and formal healthcare or treatment services?
Yeah, sure. So our peer workers, period, they're literally the heartbeat of what we do. They're the lifeline. Without our peer workers, we wouldn't be able to go into these non-traditional settings and deliver the services that we deliver. So again, they understand what those participants are feeling, what they're going through, the stigma, and they understand how to kind of get them over that bridge and get them connected and linked to services.
Wow. And the drug supply is constantly changing. How does a collective adapt to emerging substances or new overdose trends?
Quickly. I would definitely say that oftentimes we have to hear, whether it's boots on the ground, whether it's through the drug checking machines informing us that there's more xylazine out there. It's really a rapid impact that Melissa will get that phone call from On Point or a different organization, and we'll kind of inform the rest of the community and make sure that we're out there. So oftentimes, for example, xylazine is something that's heavily hit the community, and how we operate with it is very different. Narcan isn't going to actually impact it because it's not an opioid. So we have to have a different emergency response. We have to have wound care available to them more than we had previously, and we have to make sure that we have oxygen available for the individual to respond to that overdose.
Wow. And say if someone has a family member that is using opioid, how does that look, or how would that work? Do they come in to you guys and make a phone call? How does it work when they come to you guys for service?
You can go to our website and reach out to us that way. You can we're also tabling oftentimes. Most of the organizations are tabling. We do tabling every single Tuesday in front of 514 Willis Avenue. And most of the organizations, a part of the collective, have Narcan kits and do training, and it's 20 plus organizations. So you can go into anybody from Samaritan Village to On Point to Satcher to Emma L. Bowen, etc. I can't name you all, but yeah, I would say that they can come in and ask questions and get those services, or we may be tabling, and oftentimes you can just ask us to do that training right there.
Wow, and you guys been doing this for years. Both of you could speak on the personal connection that you guys have to the work that you do, and how has it shaped you and how to look at these people. I know you mentioned earlier having compassion for those that are on drugs. How has that shaped you and your mindset when you go into work every day, or when you see them in the street in your neighborhood, or just in your daily life?
I guess I can start. I feel like for me, just being a part of this project has been just instrumental, right? Individuals that we're servicing, like you said, these are people that are not too far removed from our family members. Many of them have been family members, friends. So it's a up and down, it's a roller coaster, right? One of the biggest things that I'm always constantly speaking to our team about is about self-care, right? Because this work, it can be a lot, right? Just seeing the day-to-day, seeing the wound care, seeing the mental health, seeing how our people are struggling, it does take a toll on you, right? Again, we're in our own community, we're in our own backyards, and again, we're servicing the neighborhoods that we grew up in, our families grew up in. So for me, it's life-changing, it really is life-changing, and just to see if we can help one person, right? It just makes the work that much more worth it,
Wow.
For me, it's always going to be out of a place from compassion, and from the heart. So, and our participants know that they come looking for us when we're not there, when we're not scheduled to be, they know where to find us. So it's great work. We do great work. All of the organizations, I'm extremely proud of the things that we do and the people that we help, and I'm more proud of the people that we are servicing, because the first step is on them, not on us, right? We're just there to be that bridge for them. We're just there to let them know that, hey, you do have a compassionate ear. We're not going to stigmatize you. We are going to use proper language, That's the core for me,
Yeah. Arianne?
Yeah, for me, I think it just makes me strategize harder. It makes me listen to them and think of all the relationships that I can build out. What do they need? How can I make sure that they have dignity? How can I make sure that they have hygiene kits? How can I partner better? So for me, it's all about driving clients to get what they need and making sure that when Melissa asks me, can we get more hygiene kits? How do I make that happen? And when I see community members who don't have a place to shower and don't have a place to get certain things, I just want to make sure that I'm covering them and supporting them as best as I can, as well as supporting the team, because I want them to know that they can tell their clients, we have that. And that empowers them, that makes them feel good, and that makes the community feel better.
Nice. And what do you guys hope that the Bronx, what do you guys hope that the Opioid Collective initiative does, going forward from here on out?
Bigger, better, brighter, more impact. I'm hoping that in the next few months and years, we can strategize in a way that we provide more harm reduction kits to individuals, make sure that individuals get engaged in care, focus on our new initiative of a hybrid model, which allows for a holistic approach. Melissa can speak to that. And engaging them in a way that there's a greater impact in their lives.
Nice.
I just want to save lives.
Nice. Well, that's all the time that we have. I want to thank you guys so much for being on. So inspiring what you guys do. Thank you for all the work that you do. For more information, you can visit the website at bronxopioidcollective.org. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Open right after this. Welcome back. For many young people, foster care can be a critical source of stability, support, and opportunity, especially during life's most difficult moments. Organizations like JCCA work to provide not only safe placements, but also mentorship, educational support, workforce readiness programs, and other services designed to help young people build a foundation for long-term success. Joining us to discuss more about the foster care system is Anthony Robinson, Project Program Coordinator with JCCA's Arches Program, alongside one of his mentees and participant of the program, Tyriek Perkins. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anthony, tell me a little bit about the Arches Program at JCCA.
All right, so the Arches Program is fairly new. This is our third year, but we at JCCA, we're always looking to innovate and do something new. So we wanted to enter the realm of juvenile justice. Foster care is one thing, but juvenile justice is so much more, and we want to be there for all our youth in our community, right? So we work with youth that are 18 to 24, and we provide mentoring services Tuesdays and Thursdays at our Bronx location, and we also do court reports, we help with advocacy, job placement, and just mentoring resources for our youth.
Nice, and you entered foster care at 14 and spent 7 years at the nonprofit JCCA. What do you remember about that time?
Yeah, so that time, I just believed the belief that people had in me. I come from a childhood where I don't feel like I had a lot of support, and JCCA has always been there just to support me and gave me the confidence and the power to go on and to continue. And now I just want to give that back to my mentees.
Nice. And Tyriek, you're a part of the program now. Tell me a little bit about, your experience at the Arches Program and how did you hear about it?
Well, my progress there, I was really shy about it at first because I'm not really much of a people person, but I met Anthony, and since meeting Anthony, my entire life has gone a complete 180 for the better.
Wow. And you coming from foster care, you have a personal connection to the work that you do. What made you want to come back and then give back?
Well, JCC, foremost, has always been home. Is where I really felt like I was nurtured and I was able to grow my skills. But also, I realized that there's the need for people with lived experience, and I think that's what makes me different and what makes me unique. Not that my story is different, but I can use my story to empower other young and black, brown people, because growing up, I didn't see a lot of people that looked like me. On the caseworking side, there was a lot of black and brown kids, but my case manager wasn't brown, my social worker was brown, so I want to be able to put a familiar face because it makes the work easier and having that conversation that more comfortable for the youth.
Wow. And you know, what piece of advice stuck with you from Anthony that you said, you know, you mentioned it changed your life, you know, you mentioned Anthony changed your life. What is some things that he tells you or you see in him that, you know, you kind of live by now?
I remember him telling me no one can get your job done but you. And that was something that really stuck with me. Anthony has been my biggest motivator and supporter since meeting him. So those words of him telling me that like always stuck with me. So I apply that to everything I want and try to do later on.
And coming from your lifestyle, you know, how you grew up and things like that, where do you find in you the advice to give to other young people? Like, where does that come from?
I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not shy about it. Mistakes is a part of growing. We don't grow unless we make mistakes. And I was able to learn from them, and I have people that believe in me and supported me through that growth. You know, the biggest part is not making a mistake, is getting up from it. And having people there to help you navigate it, because sometimes, you know, you get down and you don't know which way is up. So just, you know, being there and being the light for someone else.
There are some negative connotations when it comes to foster care, right? You know, when we hear about foster care, we think about the bad, right? But what are some of the things that's good, especially with JCCA?
Well, JCCA, we're innovative. We don't do things traditionally. We've been around for 200 years.
Wow.
So we've seen it a lot, but we're not sticking to one script. We're always looking to change. We're always looking to adapt. And we're looking to meet our clients where they're at. It's not about the structure of the program. It's about what they need and how can we provide that service in a manner that's non-detrimental to the family or to the client, so they can go back out on their own and be successful.
Wow. And what are you aspiring to do now in your career?
Now I'm kind of just working, really big on being a money-getting go-getter. It's another thing I've learned from Anthony in the program.
Nice. And, you know, what would you say to a young person that's, you know, maybe dealing with some of the things that you dealt with? You know, what is some advice that you would give them from your standpoint now?
For joining the program?
Yeah.
I would trust the process. Everybody thinks, oh, I'm just gonna come in, just do this, get it done, go out the way. This program actually helps you. They care about you, they check up on you, and everybody just wants like a one and done, the easy way. So like, honestly, my advice is just trust the process. It may take a while, but it works.
Right, right. And you know, what does the process look like when you're signed up for the program? What's the age range and things like that?
All right. So you could find a referral on our website, jccany.org. And just, it's a quick referral sheet, name, date, birthday, and I'll reach out to you, or one of my mentors will reach out to you, and we'll get the process started. As long as you are within the South Bronx and fit the age parameters, we have a spot at Arches for you.
And you know, New York continues to face a shortage of foster homes. What do you wish more people understood about the importance of stable placements and supportive adults?
In foster care, stability is a game changer. A lot of the youth, we bounce around at first, but once you found a stable home and someone that truly believes in you, it's no telling where you're going to end up, because you can really settle in and focus on your treatment plan. I tell everybody, you can't focus on yourself until you know that you're going to be stable and you have somewhere to call home. Then you can start the real work.
Nice. And you know, what are some of the challenges that you find yourself, or what are some of the common challenges that you have when you're dealing with children that are in the foster care system or coming through your program? What are some of the difficulties that you have with them?
Sometimes I feel that, you know, stability, and also, like I said, you can't work with yourself if you don't have somewhere stable. So a lot of our youth don't have stable housing, or they don't have a stable adult figure until we enter, and making sure that they have that when they leave, because the work is not done when you graduate a program. You still have to continue on. So just make sure that they have stability.
Nice. And, you know, if another young person was hesitant during a program like Arches, you know, I guess we answered that earlier, but what is like one thing that stood out from this program to you that makes this program special?
The support. A lot of people, like the youth nowadays, is very independent. They're not really fast at admitting when they need help, if they need help. And I feel like everybody should know, like, support is like a really big thing to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you have a support system, then you can have the motivation to do what you're supposed to do.
Nice. And what's your favorite part about Arch's program at JCCA?
My favorite part is the youth. You know, Tyriek is one of the many youth that I've mentored, but seeing the change. Because all it takes is somebody to show up, stability, and somebody to believe in them, and these youth can surprise you with the bounds that they could break and where they could go.
Oh, and what does mentorship look like? Are you meeting with Tyriek, you know, on a weekly basis? Is it a daily basis? Is it like through text, phone call? How does that look
So
like?
we're not your typical office setting.
Okay.
We meet our clients in the community, and it's a transformative mentorship. So we want to meet you where your daily interactions are. You know, change doesn't happen in a classroom. It doesn't happen in a box. It happens in the world. So we meet them. We went to the park. We go to the movies. We take them just anywhere and everywhere to get the job done.
Nice. Thank you guys both for being on. This was really a great segment. Thank you so much for all that you do at the Arches program. For more information, visit the website at jccny.org. We got more here on Open right after the break. Welcome back. For many people, art is a form of self-expression, but for some justice-impacted New Yorkers, it can also be a powerful tool for healing and personal growth. At the Fortune Society, the Creative Arts Program provides opportunities for individuals impacted by incarceration, homelessness, trauma, and other life challenges to explore creativity while building confidence and reframing their experiences through art. This comes as the organization recently hosted its 13th annual Arts Festival in the Bronx, a showcase featuring visual art, music, spoken word, and community-based work from justice-impacted artists. Joining us to share more is Jamie Maleszka-Tate, Director of Creative Arts of the Fortune Society, along with participating artists and co-curator of this year's festival, Meagan Betances. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Just to start things off, what is the Fortune Society?
Sure. So Fortune is a New York City-based nonprofit that fundamentally believes in building people, not prisons. We believe in the power of people. We believe in the power of people and the power of people to change. We offer a myriad of holistic wraparound services for New Yorkers that have directly been impacted by the carceral state. And so there is employment opportunities and trainings, career pathways, housing, care management, case management. There's a fully certified mental health clinic and a robust creative arts program.
Nice. And you know, Meagan, you came to the Fortune Society seeking support after experiencing domestic violence and homelessness. How did art become part of your healing journey?
For me, and I think a lot of people, a part of healing is experiencing innocence, regardless if you've been justice impacted or not. We lose our innocence as we age and have to get into the world and work. We don't get to do things just to make us happy. We have to do things to survive. And losing that makes it very difficult for at least me, knowing that I have mental health struggles that I'm trying to also deal with on the day-to-day while coexisting in society. I feel like one way to return to that innocence is doing things that we loved when we were younger. And so I always liked doing art, and the Fortune Society providing art, which is something a lot of people lose when they get older and don't make the time to do anymore. Returning to that brings back that state of innocence, brings back that mindset that it's this simple to be happy. It's this simple to do something that makes us happy.
Wow. And it's interesting that you say that, because it is true, you know, art, we do lose that concept as we get older. You know, we pull away from the coloring books and the drawing. How does the Fortune Society play a role in just bringing art back into people's lives?
Well, one, just access, having opportunities. Often when people ask what do you actually do? I consider myself like a third base coach. I'm just like waving people home. It's the artists and the community that's actually doing it. And so we're just creating and holding space so that if people want to opt in, and there's sort of a spectrum to the folks that are engaging. There are folks that we are lucky enough to meet on day one. They've been creating art for years. They got books out. They're doing, you know what I mean? They're fully blossomed in their in the level of comfort as like identifying as an artist. And then there are folks maybe who've never taken part, have never even considered themselves an artist. So it's, again, just creating space and opportunities and access. Like, here are materials, see what happens. Hey, we're going to go see a show. Like, let's go see a Broadway show. Let's go see a new gallery exhibition. Like, what can we dream and create together?
That's so dope. You know, you guys just hosted your 13th annual festival at the Bronx Music Hall.
Yep.
You know, which is just opened up, so that's super exciting.
Yep.
What was that festival like? What was some of the activities that you guys had lined up for attendees?
Sure. So a full afternoon, free, family-friendly happenings, from live musical performances. There was screen printing, free food, tons of joy. Meagan and another artist, Nadine Isis Richardson, curate an art exhibition. There were artworks on view. We're in community with some young men that are currently incarcerated in the UK. Wow. And so they were able to ship out their work. Their work was on view. Wow. And so that folks were able to sort of experience their artwork and poetry and then respond to it. So then we're going to mail back their responses, so the young men will receive that. The choir performed. There was a maker's market. So Meagan, amongst the artists that were featured, so Fortune community members that were selling their handmade and handcrafted work. It's from crochet to different paintings. It was a lovely, lovely afternoon, full of joy.
Wow. And what does it mean for you? You know, you're co-curator of the festival. What does that mean?
It's just so exciting getting to work with other artists, to be around such talented individuals. The people at Fortune, the participants, the artists at Fortune Society are so gifted and talented. It's so special. I'm sorry, I keep touching the mic. It's so special to be around individuals who had a similar experience as me, and they're thriving now. We've been through the hard part, and now we're getting to enjoy what we've overcome and pass it and encourage each other. We really just enjoy building each other up when we're sharing a space together, and it's such a special feeling. I'm so grateful that I get to be around them. Yeah.
Nice. And what's some of the art that you do? What's your art style?
Oh, my art style. My main art style is a form of collage art called layering. But I also have been taking classes for ceramics. I've been taking classes for painting, screen printing, and just digital art as well. So I try taking advantage of whatever art classes the Fortune Society offers and other nonprofits in New York offer. It's something that, like I was saying before, makes me really happy. And so whatever opportunities there are, I want to take advantage of it.
Nice. And they just showed some pictures on the screen of your art, you know, and like, how do you come up with this art? Like, when you go in, you sit down, you know, what's the preparation like? Do you clear your mind? Do you put on some type of music? What's the inspiration between each piece?
With each piece, The style that I have, when people ask me to describe it, I say sort of urban Caribbean, or I can't help but like show how New Yorker I am in my art. I try avoiding the stereotypes, but it's just something about symbols that represent New York is so special to me. Like, my brain works in imagery, and so seeing certain things, seeing like the Big Apple, seeing the big hoop earrings, seeing the colors, specifically like for me, how the Caribbean, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rican representation in New York, in the Bronx as well, that just makes me happy. It brings me back to a nostalgic place, not the negative things of my past, but the beautiful things from my past that helped me get through what I was going through. It's those things that I want to share, those images with other people, to hopefully bring out that in them as well, the positive outlook in their mind and in their heart. Yeah.
Wow. What are some of the services that Fortune Society have? You know, if I'm a member of it, or if I come to you guys' doorstep, what does the day-to-day look like for me?
Totally. So there are lots of different entry points into Fortune. We're lucky enough that there are now individuals that roll up specifically just to take part in arts programming, but certainly based on the hierarchy of needs and like practical needs, there's a myriad of obstacles and barriers that people that are returning either from prison or jail, who really have any touch point with the criminal legal system, have to contend with. So Fortune's programming evolves in direct response to community members' needs. So whether it's employment services, whether it's working on one's resume, finding safe, affordable housing. We have congregate housing, where there are housing facilities basically in all the boroughs at this point, but Staten Island. There's a fully certified mental health clinic. There's a peer-centered recovery center. And then aside from direct services, Fortune also believes deeply in advocacy. So there is an advocacy, there's a policy center, there's also a research center. So really holistic support. And it's driven truly by folks that are directly impacted. We believe in the power of the credible messenger. So not only throughout the agency, including at the top, at the executive level, folks who have lived experience are the ones who are guiding the program and making decisions. So again, it's like the folks who know exactly what it smells like, what it tastes like. Those are the folks that are helping to guide the entire organization.
Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. Great work that you guys are doing.
Thank you so much.
For more information, visit the website at fortunesociety.org. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Only 57% of New York City high school students are college ready by their senior year. .5% of high school graduates either have no plans to attend college or are uncertain that they will ever attend. .34% of young adults don't go to college because they can't afford it. Discover what's possible. Bronxnet's education programs, internships, and opportunities help engage and inspire Bronx youth and beyond to pursue their passions. Be a part of the Bronxnet family. Whether you're interested in our shows, joining a class, or donating to support our mission, visit bronxnet.org to learn more.
Welcome back. As we commemorate Juneteenth, we celebrate the enduring power of music to preserve history, honor cultural heritage, and inspire future generations. For 47 years, EEE has kept the rich traditions of African American sacred music alive, sharing a message of faith, resilience, and hope with audiences across the country and around the world. Joining us now are co-directors Dr. Pamela Eatman-Skinner and Reverend Eugene R. Palmore. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me about EEE and what does it stand for and some history about it.
EEE stands for the Ebony Ecumenical Ensemble. We are celebrating our 47th year. It was founded in 1979 by our founder and director, Mrs. Betty Frank Forbes, who was the wife of one of the homiletics teachers at Union Seminary. And they had just remodeled or rededicated their chapel. And so the ensemble was formed to perform at that induction and that ceremony. And so we've been here now for 47 years doing what we've been commissioned to do, to tell the story of the African American religious experience with the music of the entire African diaspora. Mm-hmm. And that includes spirituals, gospels, anthems, sacred jazz. We've performed on all stages around the country and around the world. We have performed with luminaries like Cyrus Chestnut, Linda Ronstadt, Wycliffe Gordon, and Neville. Which Neville brother was that? Aaron Neville.
Wow.
And we performed with the New York Symphony in New York at the Metropolitan Opera. And for the past 3 or 4 years, we have been performing as a part of a grander Juneteenth celebration at Carnegie Hall.
Nice. And what does Juneteenth mean to the choir?
Wow. Juneteenth is a time of celebration, a time of reflection, a time of agitation to stir the pot, to remember what we as a people came through, that we received our liberty, the last slaves in 1865, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. So that was a long waiting, and in some ways, we're still waiting. But that's the spirit of Juneteenth. So we, in the same way that the 4th of July is celebrated across this nation, people of African descent often celebrate Juneteenth as that day of liberation for everyone.
And you guys been around the world, right? But you guys have a concert coming up on June 20th here in New York City. Tell me about that.
Well, we have our Juneteenth celebration, and it's called
the Juneteenth Experience, we're calling it.
Okay. And it's under the big rubric of Let Justice Roll. Mm-hmm. We're going to be singing spirituals and gospels, weaving a story with music, with dance, spoken word, a mime ministry. We want to tell the entire story because we want to be able to control the narrative of the roads that we've traveled, the barriers we've overcome. You'll see in some of the songs that that you'll hear later on, we did Guide My Feet, and a spiritual that we use to say that God has guided the feet of people of color through struggle, through triumph, through tears, through heartbreak. And we are not only just surviving, we are thriving. And so our feet have been guided by the one that we think keeps us on this path.
Nice.
And tell us about City Called Heaven.
Yeah. City Called Heaven it's a song of mourning because, the African American music experience takes you through so many different emotions, through the slave fields, through the docks. So City Called Heaven, no matter what happened, I'm striving to make heaven my home. There's a better day a-coming. That's the spirit of the song. So you're gonna hear just a very small group from the ensemble that we'll share later today.
Super excited because this choir is a 40-member choir. However, there's only a portion of them here now. But joining us in the studio is the EEE, bringing their voices and their spirit to celebrate Juneteenth.
Release your song, says the Spirit to me. Release your song, says the Spirit to me. Release your song, release your song, release your song. run this race. My Lord, guide my feet while I run this race. Have mercy. Guide my feet while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain.
Hold my hand, Lord, while I run this race. Hold my hand, Lord, while I run this race. Hold my hand, Lord, while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Lord, guide my feet and let me stand, let me stand. I am willing to run all the way. If I falter while I'm trying, Lord, don't get angry, let me stand, 'cause I'm willing to run all the way. I'm your child while I run this race. My Lord, I'm your child while I run this race. Have mercy. I'm your child while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain. Race in vain.
That was fantastic. Thank you again to the EEE for sharing their talent and this powerful performance with us today. For more information, email ebonyeeinc@yahoo.com. We've come to the end of our show today. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining and you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the rebroadcast on Optimum Channel 67, Verizon Fios 2133, or watch anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. You can catch a brand new episode of Open with Rena Valentine on Friday. I'm Kyrie Moody. Stay safe, stay blessed, and happy Juneteenth.